Hello. Dagger TV, obviously, or Wild Dagger TV. The Dagger boat. The last video you would have seen would have been the rescue of the Dagger boat. Over! I think the video says enough, really. You know, all the cursing and all that said enough. What a stressful afternoon. Went out for an easy ride. Went out for a run round with a boat, you know. Ooh, nice one. Turned into a freaking nightmare. Anyway, never mind. Since all that, I've come up with a few mods that I've done to the boat to make things better. I've actually spent some money and bought some bits for it as well, you know. So I'm just going to run over what I've done. Give me some comments, likes, subscribe in the top corner. Yeah, come on. Give me some comments down below. Let me know what you think. Give me some ideas. I want to make this thing go faster. And everybody's saying, yeah, bigger engine, blah, blah, blah. I'll get there. I will get there. You know, I bought a prop today. A bigger prop. But I didn't know the difference between a tractor prop and a pusher prop. So I bought a pusher prop and I needed a tractor prop. The difference being that a pusher, the prop goes on backwards and pushes along, and a tractor pulls it along, if that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, so back to the boat. Okay, she stalled. The water travelled up the nose of the boat like this. Yeah, went down into the fan cavity here, hit the blade and stalled the engine. That's what caused our big F up the other day. So I've created this to stop the whole flooding at the front nut. If you remember rightly, there was nothing there, so the water literally just flowed up the edge and twanged down. So I've screwed that down, points here, here and here, and I've glued it. I don't know if you can see that in there, probably won't focus right in there. I've glued it. Yeah, not glued it, it's like some gasket sealant it is. That's what it's called, hematite blue gasket sealant or some Jove and like that, whatever. Anyway, so I built the cover, and that there is so that when the wave travels up the front, it hits this instead of just travelling down and stalling the engine. This, believe it or not, people, is plant pot. This is a bit of plant pot. Yeah, there's the edge of the plant pot there. Yeah, I cut the bit off at the bottom, but it's lightweight. It don't weigh nothing. It's dead thin. You know, look, it's dead flexible and stuff, so it's just designed to stop the boat from stalling, you know, from the water hitting it. You know, it's quite low in the water, and when she turns, until I get a decent prop, you know, it's not quick enough at the moment. I am even admitting it myself, people. Yeah, she is not quick enough. I need power. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, let's carry on. Right. Okay, so inside the hull, what I did is I put rubber. See this flexibleness here? That is push bike inner tube. Believe it or not, it is. I cut up a push bike inner tube, cut it to shape, and then screwed it in around the edges, look. And then added the same blue gasket sealant, which you can see a bit sticking out there, look, to seal all the edges up. Where the servo sits on, there was a big piece of plastic, had loads of holes drilled in it, blah blah. I covered that in the same rubber. I don't know if you can see in that gap. Let me just twist that a minute. You can see in the gap, there is actually a gap between the rubber and the servo, but what I've done is I've tucked it underneath each other, and then glued all around the edge. Put that one in, put this one on top, glued between the centres, glued between that centre, and then put a plastic cover on top, glued all around that, and put that on top there. So hopefully now that will keep the water out. So the prop that I bought is bloody useless. The engine still turns over. She does turn over. She's there. I don't know if you can hear that. Probably not. You probably can't hear that, but don't worry about it. She does turn over. Take my word for it. The fuel tank. See the fuel tank? The fuel tank was sitting up here before. Look, it was sitting transversely and sitting up. Yeah. So what I've done is I've sunk her down into the engine frame. Look, right down behind the engine. It works. I thought that she might be too low down there to fuel the lump, but she does, yeah. Obviously the vacuum lead pipe's missing off it for all you do out there who say, "Hey, vacuum pipe's missing." I know it's missing. I took it off. Yeah. I raised my exhaust. Yeah, I'll show you. I raised my exhaust up out of the water as well, so it sits up instead of sitting down in the water because the arse is still a little bit low in the water. Been at it with the old touch-up pen, obviously. But yeah, the piece de resistance has got to be this piece in here, yeah? Because that is hopefully going to save the Dagger boat's ass. You know, it should do. I don't see why not. I might do a sinking test in the bath. Obviously, I've been at it with the black paint as well and painted it all up. I had to. Just doing my head in. The cover was a different colour to everything else. But obviously that sits in there like that. So now you can see what I've created there. See that? So now when the water travels up the nose, bush, it'll hit this first instead of just going walk off in down there and swamping the boat. Yeah. We did take a crack. See that there? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? See that crack there? Nice crack down the nose. I've had to fill in. Nice big crack down the back there. You can't see that, can you? Yeah, there you see it. But yeah, apart from that, she did well. There's no cracks in the hull or anything like that. Yeah, but yeah, she did well. I'm a bit miffed that this propeller's bloody useless though. So there you go. Hopefully you can see what I've tried to do there. Obviously the cover is to stop the water going in, hitting the blade and causing it to stall. I've butterflied my tail more as well because it works really, really well, and I think that's because they're not sitting in front of it, so the air literally sits on the top here and then powers the boat along. I'm loving the boat, people. I'm still loving the boat after even after all the stress. I'm still a Dagger boat fan, you know. How can I not be? And you'll be happy to know. Look at that. Check that out. See that? See, that's secret at the moment. That is secret project at the moment. But I actually have. Oh look! I got bored. Just got bored. So that's the helicopter. Look. I don't know if that's gonna work. I have no idea. It was just a giggle, really. I was bored. But this. Remember this? Do you remember this? The Wild Dagger. Yeah? This is what this was all about. This channel was all about the Wild Dagger. Hence, Wild Dagger TV. But since getting the Dagger boat, the Dagger has been forgotten about. But it hasn't. I have actually been on it this weekend. I've been trying... before, you've seen me before trying to mock up all the stuff for doing it with. But I've actually got a chassis now. So give a quick preview. Ooh. Ignore that bit of yellow. That's just for fabrication purposes. What do they call it? Mock-up purposes. For mock-up to give me my distance between my wheel settings. Because I've got to try and keep that at the correct distance here, so it doesn't interfere or foul this wheel. Yeah. But obviously, I'm going to have centre drive off the Dagger. Rear wheel drive off of something else, and the front wheel drive is the same sort of cog as this, look. Yeah, same as this, whereas the Dagger motor will actually stick out here. Yeah. But that's the beginnings of my 6-wheel drive stalwart build. Obviously it won't have these wheels on it. It'll have smaller wheels, probably of this sort of size, you know. It'll bring it right down to the floor, the suspension will be jacked right up. Then I'll have a small prop at the rear that'll power it off. Yeah. Obviously this is a cat tray. This is not a cat tray, it's a... don't know what sort of tray it is, but I'm going to use this. Because I'll fiberglass off the edges and build my body on this, yeah. But yeah. It's a good basis, it's a good start, and the springs sit in good positions as well. Yeah. Alright people, I'm not going to bore you anymore, just let you know my amphibious 6-wheel drive Alvis Stalwart build is on the way. It's built out of the Wild Dagger obviously, and Dagger boat is well on the way. Well on the way. A few modifications and a read up on propellers might do me justice. Alright, so thanks for tuning in. I'll try and get this out on the water in the next few days. Obviously these mods and things that I've done. Before I go, do you remember that I used to power the boat with MIG wire, you know, to do these cables? See these cables? I used to use MIG wire, but I went to my local hobby shop, which is called Nitro RC in Bude, Cornwall. Yeah, if you go there, make sure you tell him you spoke to me. He sold me this. It's like a flexible plastic wire. It's almost like fibre optic wire. Yeah. It runs down inside. I don't know if you can see down in there. There's a yellow thing sticking out now. Where's the yellow thing? This. See this? This is what it runs through. Now the Dagger boat used to have some of these, very similar, like this. But I replaced them with new cabling and new piping, and I've just added it all to the boat to try and. This is it's a lot sturdier. There's no play in it at all. I mean, see, perfect, Richard. No play at all. Lovely. All right. So that's where I got to. Like I say, stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Give me my likes and give me my subscribes. And if you don't know me, then go and check out the rest of my videos, man. The boat used to be nothing, and now it's something and nothing. All right. Cheers, people.